So I hope you had a beautiful, profound, and powerful experience with raising the vortex and experiencing oneness magic. And inevitably, those of you that perhaps didn't experience something or struggled with the experience would be, oh, what do I do now? I didn't get that, or that didn't happen. And a number of you will have sent me emails, Zingdad, what do I do? And really, this is where it kicks in. I'm not your teacher, not your guide, not your guru. I'm pointing the way along a path. If you can find yourself on the path and keep walking the path, then the path is right for you. If you can't, then something earlier, something formative, something needs work, something needs help. Which is why all along the way, I've pointed to various kinds of help that I can offer. Should you continue, irrespective, even though you weren't able to have the experience you desired, or it wasn't quite right, or something was bothering, should you continue, should you stop, should you go back, should you do something different? You should decide for yourself what you should do. Okay, that's the point. The divine light is awakening. I'm not a hand holder. You should figure out what to do. If this is a path you want to be on and you've encountered some blockage, then something needs to be done about the blockage. I have indicated that there are healing modalities I can offer. You don't have to come to me for these healing modalities. You can find others who can do these kinds of things. If you wish to continue, which is potentially not a bad idea, just carry on. Then you might find carrying on, some of the solutions to your problems start to arise. And we're going to take a bit of a jump to the left and have a look at some of the things that can disturb you in your meditations, in your soul work. We're going to do looking at various blockages, looking at various transformational things that we can do inside of our own psyches. So if you wish to carry on, you might find what you're looking for in the next few meditations, or anyway, conversations. So today we're going to talk about present disturbances. I thought it might be quite appropriate to talk about this because though Pikachu is in a wonderfully blissed out state right now, on Daddy's lap, at the fire, in his new jacket, which he's really coming to terms with beautifully, he also has a new squeak toy. Little plastic thing that you bite and it squeaks. And oh my word, is he ever obsessed with his squeak toy. He can't get over the thrill of if he bites it, it squeaks, so that he just bites it again and it squeaks again. And he will do that repetitively all day. And after I bought him his first squeak toy, I was trying to meditate with a squeak going on. I was like, okay, that's not going to work. So I picked up his squeak toy and I put it in the cupboard. But I mean, if he sees where I put it, then he gets obsessed. He can't leave the cupboard alone. So I hid it and put it in the cupboard. He didn't know, and he ran around just looking for his squeak toy. So I realized I have to give him his squeak toy. So I gave him his squeak toy, which meant I couldn't meditate, or could I? I had heard of great sadhus, great saints in India, who would sit in the meditative position in their little loincloth with mosquitoes buzzing around them and mosquitoes biting them, and it wouldn't bother them in the least. And I thought, all right, I've got to try this. So I sat to meditate. And what really worked for me in this meditation was to become aware that every squeak was Pikachu's joy. It was his delight, his excitement And it was just so overwhelming for him that he had to do it again. And I found myself draining the noise into my heart, because I could bring it into my heart, because it's beautiful, blissful excitement. And so that became a way that I could meditate, even with Pikachu on my lap with the squeak toy in his mouth, squeaking it against me. And it's this rubber thing, so it kind of scratches you if you don't have full length leg covering. And really, truly, genuinely, honestly, I could meditate. Had wonderful, blissful meditation. It became irrelevant. I lost all sense of him doing this. Now this morning, if we were recording outside, you would hear there's chainsaws in the distance. And these chainsaws there's 2 or 3 of them running, and they're cutting trees down. And if I wanted to meditate, that would be a problem, unless I could find a way to process this. Now, as it happens, those chainsaws are cutting down alien invader plants that really shouldn't be here. They're clearing and returning the area to pristine nature, which is a beautiful thing. So that sound too, I would be able to drain into my heart. But what if they were cutting down trees on a neighbor's land, and it was trees that natural trees that belong here, and what if I was heart sore about that? What would I do? So then I need a different technique. And there are a number of different techniques that you can use. Perhaps the neighbor's child is crying, or perhaps, noises that bother you. If you have sirens going past, what do you do? Another technique I find useful is transparency. You imagine your being to be like glass, and the noise to be like an image, a visual, a light that can pass straight through the glass. And just be transparent for a while and make that your meditation. Make transparency your meditation. See if you can be completely transparent to all the sounds, all the lights, all the images, or everything that's around you. Just let it pass through you. Be transparent. When you're completely transparent, you're bliss. So transparency is another means. If that can't work, if it's something that really you think, my goodness, I have to do something about this, but it's not yours to do something about. The neighbors are fighting and slamming doors and shouting at each other or something. You can try something else. You can try shining love. Really find the portal, open it, bring love into your heart, and shine love on them. Now this works whether your problem is the neighbor right next door, or the problem is politicians. If you're an American, you might want to shine love on Washington. If you're European, well, oh my goodness, there's so much going on in Europe right now. And we here in South Africa, oh boy, our politicians are certainly not better than yours. So this is something that's really a beautiful thing to do. Find your heart connection and shine love on this thing, the situation, these people. Shine love. Keep shining love until it's not bothering you anymore. And then go into your meditation. Beautiful meditations to do. We're taking a thing that's a problem, that's a challenge, I can't meditate because that's happened. We're taking that, we're turning it around and making it something beautiful. And if you are a master, what you do is you find gratitude for this thing that's bothering you. Hey, Zingdad, I can't find gratitude. They're stupid, crazy people. If you can find gratitude, you've mastered it. And it's not simply, oh, okay, I'm just going to be grateful. It's more like when you can understand, when you can move yourself to understanding that really you should be grateful for what's going on over there, then it's no longer your problem. Then you've mastered it. Then you can let go of it. So, for example, politicians and all their craziness. There's a reason for them playing the game they're playing exactly as they're playing. They're doing it perfectly. There's new information coming from Adamu which is going to make sense of all this, but just if you can understand that we need to keep the planet at a certain vibratory frequency, and the bad guys, the whatever we're calling them, the Illuminati and their puppets and the politicians and the banking system and the whole crazy bang shoot, the war, and this stuff keeps the vibration at a level that needs to be there for a reason. And the level can be slowly increased over time. It's all necessary. It's all working perfectly. If you can't see that, you're not ready for gratitude. If you want to try gratitude, see if you can see that. If you can do gratitude, it's not a problem. You can let it go. Maybe you understand how it works. And then there's a final way that I want to tell you. Let's say what troubles you is some other person who's just, one of those. They're just kind of a person. And they just get up your nose and cause you irritation. And but you can't sit them down and say, let's sort this out like adults. Because if you can, you'd sort it out. What do? All right. I'm sure you have a person like that. All right. We're going to do our meditation today with them. You don't need to set your stopwatch at all today, because it will last as long as it lasts. Please close your eyes. Please settle into your body. Find love, appreciation, gratitude for your physical form. And now you can begin to let your body go and find yourself in a space which is comfortable and welcoming and beautiful for you, whatever that means for you. You're actually arriving inside your own heart chakra in a space that is beautiful. We're going to work a lot more with the space in due course. I'm introducing you right now. It's called the Garden of Your Heart. Arrive in the Garden of your heart. It can look or feel exactly as it does, like a literal garden, if that works for you. Or it can be just lights, colors, or a safe, warm, dark space. Let it be whatever it is. Be in your garden. Be where you are safe and loved and protected and guided. If you come into this garden, only those that are divinely ordained to be here may be here. So, truly divine beings, angelic beings, can be here if they need to, if there's something to do here to help you with. Your spirit guide or guides, your own divine self, these beings can be here. And then also those that you specifically invite here for a specific purpose. And so I'd like you to feel into your energy body. For this irritation, this anger, this frustration, this difficulty, it sits in your own being that you have. The irritation with this other person, it sits inside of you. You think the problem is them. Feels like it's them. They are merely the trigger. Their presence, what they say, the way they are, the things they do, whatever it is for you, triggers this thing inside of you. So begin to feel where your trigger is. Now you can move your physical hands if you like, or you can leave them where they are. You're using your energetic hands. And you're going to reach into your energy body for where this ugly, painful, irritating thing is. You're going to reach there and begin to feel for it. Feel for that irritation, where it sits in your form. Breathe prana into it so that it can begin to move, begin to let go. So that you can take it with your energetic hands, this irritation, take it out of your physical body, take it out of your energy body, take it out of your emotional body, take it out. And when you've been able to fetch it out, and you're able to sit with it in your hands, in your garden, you are summoning the spirit, the form, the energetic form, the astral form of this other. You're summoning them to your garden so that you can negotiate this irritation with them. And when they arrive, you might notice something interesting. They might arrive looking exactly the way they normally do to you. You might notice that there is also a brighter, higher self with them, a divine self with them. Because associated with absolutely everybody that you encounter is a divine self that is experiencing and creating itself through and as this other. Sometimes the other is of very low frequency, and you just don't get how they can be the way they are. Sometimes they're of a perfectly good frequency, but there's just a clash between the two of you. Whatever the case is, invite the other to come and sit in front of you. Become present to their divine self also here. Greet them both. Greet the divine self appropriately, with respect, with love, with gratitude. Shine your light. Feel your divine self greeting their divine self. You must have heard this word namaste. It's used as a greeting by people who are engaged very often in their spiritual path, because the word means the divine within me sees and greets the divine within you. Well, that's what we're doing right now. We're having a quick namaste. And now the lower, the incarnated, the ego persona, greets the ego persona. Try not to use ugly words. Try to be civil. And now you start to have a conversation which I'm not going to guide you on, because this is between you and them. Say everything you want to say. Tell them everything you want to tell them. And you don't have to be all super spiritual. You can tell them exactly what you're thinking. This is a safe space for this. Express whatever needs to come out. You know, it might be that it's real rage, if this is perhaps some terrible abuser or something like that, or somebody who hurt you in your childhood, something like that. Say whatever needs to be said. And then see if you can listen and hear what needs to be heard. And then invite your divine self or your spirit guide or someone who is present, who is here, who is wise, that has a transcendent perspective. Invite them to speak. And see if you can get to a place where you are able to release this other. Here, in the astral, as a spirit being, if you can say, all right, that's okay, I let you go. I forgive you, I release you. See if you can find your way to gratitude, if you can find your way to saying thank you for this interaction. If you can, you're done with them. You might physically, on the planet Earth, still have more business with them. The dance physically might change, or it might for some other reason need to go on. But you might find it changes quite spectacularly. See if you can find your way to saying, I release you. And if you can let them go from your garden in peace. Breathe them out. Let them go energetically. And if you can, see if this irritation that you're holding in your hand, this thing that you've hauled out of your energy body, has transformed into something beautiful. A jewel of the soul, perhaps. A deeper sense, a deeper capacity for compassion. A deeper connection with your own wisdom. A deeper insight into your own capacity for transformation. If it does, if it transforms into a jewel, then here in your garden, here in this beautiful place where you are now, you might find a place to put this jewel, because you're going to accumulate many of them over time, many jewels of the soul. So put it somewhere beautiful. And then thank your guide or your higher self, whoever assisted. And return to normal consciousness. And I'm going to leave you for whichever parts of this you want to do and at whatever pace you want to do it. I'm going to leave you to that. Until tomorrow. Goodbye.